Union Home Minister Amit Shah has spoken about the matter. Congress MP Shashi Tharoor has, of course, also reacted to the incident and has urged all religious leaders to come together in condemning the matter. This is, of course, the latest that we're tracking for all our viewers. And let's, in fact, listen in to some reactions coming in.
Illegal occupation of Palestinian lands. The open backing of the US administration has emboldened the Israeli government. It enacted a law declaring Israel as a Jewish nation state. The Gaza Strip, home to over 2 million Palestinians, is repeatedly under Israeli attack. Since 2007, Israel has imposed a blockade. Even humanitarian aid is allowed to enter Gaza only if Israel so desires. In 2020, the UN called Israeli occupation in Palestine the longest belligerent occupation.
Chief Minister of Kerala, Pinarayi Vijayan, had reacted to this, and I'd like to reiterate the statements that he had made earlier regarding this. He had, of course, condemned the incident and stated that top police officials, including the DC.
Left in India has always stood by the Palestinian cause, and even now we stand resolutely with the Palestinians. It is evident in the joint statement issued by the CPIM and CPI yesterday. Respecting the overwhelming mandate of the UN General Assembly, there must be an immediate ceasefire. Let me conclude by once again expressing solidarity with the people of Palestine and the cause of Palestine. Let us continue our joint efforts so that India retains its moral compass and stands with the oppressed against the oppressors. Thank you.
CPIM leader and Chief Minister of Kerala. He is currently attending an event that is talking about the war that is taking place in the Middle East. Meanwhile, of course, as you can see on our screens, there's a blast that has taken place in his state itself, a blast that has taken place at a convention center in Kochi itself. But on the meantime, on the other hand, he is commenting on what is taking place in the Middle East. But we are getting to know that according to sources, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has directed anti-terror agencies NSG, NIA to send teams to Kerala to assist the state government after the blast that has taken place at the convention center. Remember, viewers, we were just telling you that Union Home Minister Amit Shah had in fact dialed the Chief Minister of Kerala, Pinarayi Vijayan, to take a stock of the situation of the blast that had taken place. You can see visuals of that blast on air. Earlier, of course, we were in fact taking you viewers to what was happening on ground in the state. Meanwhile, joining us on the broadcast to give us more details is my colleague Sujata Dwivedi. Sujata, over to you. What can you tell us? What more details can you give our viewers regarding news that is coming in that Union Home Minister Amit Shah has in fact dialed up Chief Minister of Kerala, and he's also directed anti-terror agencies such as NSG and NIA to send teams to Kerala to assist state government after the blast?
Well, yes, and we see that following the multiple explosions that have taken place during a prayer meeting, the Kerala Health Minister Veena George has now directed all the hospitals on alert, health workers who are on leave to return immediately and make sure that the patients are being treated. And also what we get to know is that the minister has also directed officials to provide all the necessary facilities to other hospitals in the district. And also meantime, we see that that the Home Minister, Union Home Minister Amit Shah had also dialed, like you mentioned, the Chief Minister of Kerala, inquiring about the current scenario after the blast that has taken place, and also about the figures and situation right now on ground. And we see that following it to be a very unfortunate incident, the Chief Minister too commented that they are collecting all the details regarding the incident, and also all the top officials are there in Ernakulam, and the DGP is moving to the spot, and they are taking it very seriously. Also, after after all the union ministers' guidance to the chief minister and the state government to make sure that that the damage control is being done rapidly, and also, to after having a word with the DGP, now the chief minister says that more details are awaited after the investigation, which will be out. After which the Kerala CM Pinarayi Vijayan said that they will be investigating the matter further after all the instructions that were being provided to the officials are being carried off, and also all the hospitals as well as the health officials are back on duty for the treatment of the people who were injured in the blast.
Right, Sujata, with that, I would like to thank you for joining us on the broadcast. But also with us is Wing Commander Praful Bakshi. He's a defense expert. Good afternoon, sir, and thank you for joining us on NewsX. We've, of course, been reporting this blast that has taken place in Kochi at the Zamra International Convention and Exhibition Center. The blast had taken place during a prayer meeting of Jehovah's Witnesses, and police is now probing a terror angle. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has instructed the NIA and the NSG to reach the spot. What is your very first reaction to these developments?
As you know very well, thank you very much for calling me in. It's a very, very important subject, but a very old subject. The blasts have been going on like Kerala in India for a very long time, last 20 years. I can quote Lajpat Nagar, I can quote INA Market, I can quote Paharganj. I've seen the craters of 8 feet deep. So there's nothing new which has happened. It has been happening. And why it has been happening? Because our doctrines don't mention what action we should take against the radical religious elements. That is what is in Kerala, this problem. This is a war which is going on between Jews and Islamists, Jews and Islamists and Christians and Islamists for a very long time. That was the Crusades. But now the radical elements have taken over. Not the entire Islam, not anything. It is the radical elements, and that is the picture you are watching. Now this Mr. Khalid is being brought from Khalini, brought from Murshid, from Hamas. He is coming here and giving a lecture. Imagine, and he is inciting the people. Where is the mention in doctrine? I think India requires to change the national security aspect, that chapter. We have to rewrite how to deal with them. We cannot have it in a very democratic manner. You also vote and I also vote. It cannot happen like this. It has to be eradicated with a very firm hand, and that is what has to be required. It is a very old happening here, and nothing very new. I am not surprised at all. This is happening always. But only thing is, we want to overlook it. Why we want to please everybody by talking parliamentary language. This is our problem and weakness. We are morally weak, and that is why we are letting it happen. So I think the NSA will take right steps and probably rewriting the doctrine and methodology and SOPs how to deal with the radical elements. As I told you, they're in Kashmir, they were everywhere, they were in Delhi, they were in Kanpur 18 years back. So they are there. They always will be there. So let us not pretend that they are different. We like to talk of various organizations and we start talking about them, but we forget what they are doing. They are all doing the same thing. What is happening in Gaza, it is happening here. So do you want to start a Gaza out here? I'm sorry, this will happen like that only if we wait and watch. So ma'am, I personally feel very strict action is required in this. We don't have to look for political solutions. It is a direct security matter, should be handled by center.
Sir, you've stated that strict action is required. Could you elucidate a little bit on that? What exactly can be done in order to curb these extremist elements that are operating and that are spreading terror in our society?
Thank you very much. This is what I've already mentioned in your channel. But when we're talking about Hamas, what I had suggested, the radical element which are happening in Israel and the Gaza, the activities, all the first thing, the leader, the country which should take the lead is a country which has no interest. So similarly, in India, we must call for all the religious heads, and like I suggested, Pope and all the elements of other religion heads Here we also must call and let them sit down with the central body from the government and chalk out a plan as to how to control the radical elements and extremists in every religion, not only in Islam, not only in Christianity or Hinduism or any ism, everywhere. And what should be the punishment? How do we eradicate? What should be? In fact, we have to rewrite a lot of things. A lot of homework is required here. Everybody wants to avoid that hard work. So we take the garb of secularism, democracy, some fancy words we have, we keep repeating them at constant intervals, and that's all. And that will happen. So this is what is happening. So once you write your SOPs, of course they will be very strict. Then you have to impose by force. In case they require force, you have to impose by force. And there is nothing wrong in using force. When other people can use force on you, why are you so shy of using force? That is what I'm trying to tell you. Ma'am, this is a center subject. SOPs have to be written. All the religious leaders have to be involved in it, including Waqf board, including the Hindu Samaj, everybody. And let there be a G20 sort of a meeting in India. That is the answer. And we have to address that. This is the center disease of everything in India. Our partition was on this. Kashmir is on this. Every aspect is on this. It is only religion and differences in religion which is happening. And I'm very happy that Naxals have not caught on that. Very soon they are entering Naxals also. And very soon you will have the religious-based Naxal problems. So I hope it doesn't reach that.
All
So
right,
we
sir.
have
And
to wake up.
sir, apologies to interject, but also joining us is Mr. Sumit Peer, political analyst, as well as Mr. Ellen Rao, former DCP of Delhi Police. I'd like to go to Mr. Sumit Peer first. Sir, what is your reaction to these developments that are coming in from Kerala? There's a blast that has taken place. The terror angle is being probed, but on the other side, their chief minister is attending an event in solidarity with what is taking place in the Middle East. So what do you make of this?
Ma'am, this is very unfortunate. My heartfelt condolences. This should have not happened. But honestly speaking, it was bound to happen. You know why? Because a couple of days back, there was a pro-Palestine rally or a big event organized in Wayanad. And incidentally, Mr. Rahul Gandhi ji is the MP from Wayanad. And the Hamas leader, I think it's Field Marshal something, I can't remember his name. He was got online and he addressed the people. So when you have terrorists from Hamas called in online and addressing the people, so obviously something of this is bound to happen. What is Hamas as a terrorist organization? I mean, the people have been requesting and appealing to the Honorable Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, how come the Kerala police is allowing the leaders of Hamas, the terrorists of Hamas, to address Indians in India? I mean, what is the solidarity with Palestine? And if there's something called solidarity with Palestine, what is the Hamas leader doing there? Who allowed him? How come they can have such a free pass in Kerala, and then these are the national outcomes that will happen. Incidentally, people were in a church. They were praying for the people who had died. And what right do some people have to plant bombs there? Obviously, the bombs which were planted, the people did not come from Neptune or Saturn or Azerbaijan. There have been some local people who have been involved there. Because this lineage to these elements of Hamas and these pro-Palestine rallies and all, so eventually these would lead to unfortunate incidents as we have seen right now. Now, who is responsible? Where was the police? How did police allow this? How can a Hamas terrorist come and address Indians on a video conferencing? How can we have this in an open forum? These are the questions which should be asked, and the people who were complicit to this have to take the responsibility of this. Because if radicals and terrorists from Hamas are allowed to address rallies, what else do you expect them to do? They will do something of this kind. They will propel people for violence. Hamas believes in violence. Hamas believes in brutality. That is what is the reality of Hamas.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.